In a lush green forest, there lived a crow who was famous for being intelligent, quick, and extremely curious. However, he had a major flaw. He was extremely impatient. The crow hated waiting. Whenever he saw food, he rushed toward it immediately. Whenever he wanted to fly, he took off without even bothering to look around. This haste often got the crow into trouble, even though wise elders like the old owl and the slow old turtle had advised him many times, saying, "Good things always take time." The crow merely scoffed. To him, speed was everything. He believed that acting quickly would always defeat patience. The first challenge came on a scorching afternoon, when the crow noticed a farmer scattering fresh seeds on the ground. "Food!" he cried out excitedly, while the clever sparrows all perched high on the branches, patiently watching and whispering to one another. "Wait until the farmer leaves." The crow ignored them all. With his impatient nature, he shot down like an arrow to grab the food. Suddenly, loud clapping erupted along with angry shouting. The farmer aggressively chased after him, sending the crow into a panic. Looking back from a distance, he was stunned to see his patient friends calmly enjoying the feast of seeds in peace. The crow began to understand the price of haste. A few days later, the crow saw a piece of bread floating in the middle of the lake. He immediately dived to snatch it, but because the bread was far away, he lost his balance and fell straight into the water. With his wings soaked, the crow struggled desperately before finally escaping with his life. Meanwhile, a heron stood quietly by the shore, patiently waiting for the waves to push the bread closer, then gently picked it up without any effort. Watching the heron calmly enjoy his meal, the crow bitterly realized that impatience only brings trouble. Patience, on the other hand, is the true key to obtaining things safely and easily. One evening, with his stomach growling in hunger, the crow saw a mango tree heavy with fruit. But alas, the fruits were still bright green. A parrot advised him, "Be patient. When they ripen, they will be very sweet." Hunger burned through his reason, but the memory of nearly dying in the lake and the panic in the field held the crow back. He took a deep breath and decided, "I will wait." The following days were a great test, yet the crow chose to watch the clouds and listen to the wind instead of rushing. A miraculous change took place. He no longer felt restless, but instead sensed his spirit becoming calm, peaceful, and stronger than ever before. Perseverance began to grow within him. One fresh morning, a gentle, sweet fragrance spread throughout the forest. The once green mangoes had turned golden yellow, plump under the sunlight. The crow gently pecked a bite. Oh my! The sweetness burst with juice and melted on his tongue. This was the most wonderful fruit he had ever tasted. There was no fear, no rushing, and no regret. The crow enjoyed his meal in complete peace and happiness. He understood that the sweetest rewards are always reserved for those who know how to be patient. From then on, whenever he did anything, he smiled and moved calmly. He realized that waiting does not mean losing time, but rather harvesting wisdom. The lesson from the crow is very clear. Patience is not a waste of time, but a preparation for lasting value. Rushing often leads to mistakes and regret. In contrast, when we know how to wait for the right moment, we can achieve our goals more safely and wisely. Remember, the sweetest fruit is always reserved for those who persevere. Do not rush, because the best things always need time to ripen.